Hi, I'm Michael. I run a website called counterbus.com, which, as you might guess from the name, is for people who are going to Cannes for various reasons, usually for business, but also for a bit of fun. Why not? Um, a question that comes up occasionally is what the Smurf can I wear when I go to Cannes, or what should I wear? Because people want to fit in. The question very much depends on when you go to Cannes, because there are events at Cannes just about every 6 weeks. Most people think of the Cannes Film Festival because that's absolutely huge. It's about 100,000 people over the space of 10 days. But there's loads of other events there, and each of them has their slightly different dress code. There are things you should know before you go. The different events have different they've different audiences. Different people go for different reasons, so it's obvious that they have different dress codes. Let's look at the easiest ones first. The easiest ones are the ones which are probably the most business-like ones. That's probably MIPIM and MAPIC, which deal with real estate and retail industries. Now, it's very, very simple in those cases. Men just wear dark suits. There is no exception to that. It's very, very, very much a question of showing off your most expensive suit for the few days of that trade fair. So there's no real question about that. Just buy a dark suit and go. Well, it's likely if you're going to MIPIM or MAPIC, you already have a dark suit. But anyway, okay. So next up, MIDEM. MIDEM is a music business trade fair, which used to be held in January, which meant that people used to wear coats. It's now being held in June, which considerably changes the deal. However, MIDEM, like the music industry itself, is pretty much go as you are. There's all sorts of music at MIDEM. There's all sorts of music labels, and so there's all sorts of people. So you'll find that the people who run hip-hop labels tend to look like hip-hop people. The people who run dark gothic rock labels tend to look like dark gothic rock people. In any case, you've no problem turning up in a leather jacket or with kind of hip-hop gear. Nobody's going to be shocked. The newest addition to this has been the kind of webby people who've turned up, music application people, because they tend to look like geeks, but they're accepted as well. They're all part of the little landscape makes up the music business. I can't think of any particular constraints. MIDEM has seen a lot of different people and a lot of different styles over the years, including full African outfits. There's a very strong classical music section, so it's not unusual to see women in formal gowns at night because they're probably singers. All of which leads us very slowly up to the Cannes Film Festival, which might be the reason you're watching this video. And the Cannes Film Festival is different. During the day, it's largely a trade fair, and again, like the MIDEM, it's a very, very loose dress code, because one of the reasons it's extremely hot down there already. In the month of May, it can get very hot in Cannes. So there are loads of people walking around in shorts and just t-shirts because anything else becomes very uncomfortable. Nonetheless, we have lots of financiers and lawyers, and they tend to prefer, guess what, the dark suit. So during the day, there's no problem. You can again come as what is most comfortable for you. The evening is a completely different ballgame, of course, because you have two things. On the one hand, you have the screenings, which are extremely formal, and really is a question of dark suit and dark tie for men, and women in evening gowns. Of course, you're probably not a star if you're watching this. Sorry, not yet. They can kind of bend the rules, but even the male actors still have to wear jackets and shirts or tuxedos and dicky bows if they want to get in. There have been loads of cases where directors have been, or producers have been, not allowed to enter their own screenings because they weren't dressed for the occasion. I'm not joking. This actually happens. On the other hand, there are. I know that the staff at the screenings often have a stock of ties lying around, and if they find you're inappropriate, they will lend you a tie so you can get into your own screening. There are also a number of shops around town that will, at the last minute, fit you up in a suit, but of course there's a price for that. So that's it. Oh yeah, sorry. And apart from the screenings, there's also the parties. And there it's a different ballgame entirely. It depends on you, how you feel comfortable in a nightclub. It can be extremely bling town. I don't think anybody has ever been kind of accused of overdressing in Cannes. And the evening parties can be very, 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 very well, bling. It's really, that's the only word to describe it. But because the fashion industry is creeping into Cannes and kind of takes over a lot of the nightlife, there are still, luckily, receptions in the evening or places where the film people actually gather together for meals, which are much more relaxed, thank God. So you have to kind of know where you're going. Are you going to an event for the business, in which case you don't have to be as formal? Or is it going to be a big swanky party with very loud music and very expensive drinks? People actually like that. I don't know. One thing that is common to all people who go to Cannes, whether it be for MAPIC, Midem, the Cannes Film Festival, or just any event down there, is you really do need a good pair of comfortable shoes. Do not come in a brand new pair of shoes, because you'll end up with blisters. You can walk up to 10 kilometers a day. And if you're in a hurry to get from one place to another, if you're going between meetings and they're separated by 10, 15 minutes walk, you're going to get very, it's going to slow you down if you have blisters, I can tell you that. So that's the last tip of the day. So as I said, I run a website called cannabis.com. I've also written a guidebook for people who want to attend Cannes for these reasons, like professional reasons. If you're on YouTube now, you'll find the link below. If you're not, you might just want to Google the term Cannes Starter Guide, and you'll come across it. It's less than $5 at the moment. We're now April 2015. That might change. In it, you'll find all the information you need for surviving, for doing business in Cannes, how to make up appointments, what to expect when you get there, how to get to the town inexpensively, how to pitch, and all these sorts of things, and loads of other practical tips for just being there and staying there. So, having said all that, have a good time in Cannes.